Locations in your novel are much more than a stage for your characters to walk around on. In this article, we'll explore ways to research and develop the locations and settings in your novel. Then we'll go a little further and consider how locations can be used as literary devices to build atmosphere, develop character, and hide plot points. Hi, I'm Kat, creator of The Novel Factory. The Novel Factory is software designed by writers for writers. It contains heaps of useful tools for novel writers, including dedicated sections for characters, locations, notes, and statistics, writing guides, plot templates, world-building prompts, and tons more. You can try it free for 30 days. Please note that there is a text article that goes with this video. The link can be found below. And if you like our resources, please do subscribe for more. Now, let's get started. First, we'll look at the following methods for developing locations: immersion, photographs and illustrations, maps and plans, and listing the senses. Immersion. In an ideal world, we'd all be able to fully immerse ourselves in our settings. Experiencing a place firsthand is by far the best way to enable you to capture its spirit in an authentic way. If you are able to immerse yourself in the setting of your book, take copious amounts of photographs, make reams of notes about everything you can see, smell, taste, feel, and hear. Even take samples. Try to look at the place through the eyes of your characters. What would they notice? What would they ignore? Photographs and illustrations. Of course, immersion isn't always possible, but luckily for us, we live in the era of the internet. So if you're not able to visit the place in person, you have a wealth of resources at your fingertips. Here is a quick exercise which demonstrates how powerful it can be to use imagery to aid your location descriptions. Imagine one of your locations is an old-fashioned sweet shop, the kind with shelves packed with glass jars and filled with sweets. Take 10 minutes now to write as detailed a description as you can. Please do pause the video to complete this task. Done? Now take your time to look at the following pictures. Again, feel free to pause the video. Now, repeat the exercise and see how much richer your description is. Maps and plans. It can be incredibly helpful to have maps and floor plans detailing the spaces your characters are moving around in. By having this information defined, you can avoid characters travelling from one location to another in unrealistic time, or having rooms where furniture magically moves around or vanishes. Not only that, but the details of the surroundings could influence the action. Knowing which rooms adjoin could give opportunities for eavesdropping. A table could be used as a barrier to make a nervous character feel less exposed. A window beside the front door could give warning of the approaching police. Google Maps is a great resource for real-world locations, and there are dedicated websites that offer blueprints of buildings both large and small and real and fantasy. You could use home design software to lay out rooms, or simply sketch them by hand. It can be a very useful exercise to methodically go through each of the senses with respect to each location. Ideally, you'll answer each of the questions from the point of view character. What can you see? What can you smell? What can you taste? What can you feel? And what can you hear? You probably won't use everything on the list, but by analysing the details deliberately from each of these angles, you may find yourself coming up with new and interesting particulars. Then, when you're writing the actual scene, you'll have this box of colours ready to dip into without having to break your flow. Now we've looked at a few ways of creating locations, let's have a look at how we can use them as literary devices. Building mood and atmosphere with locations. The words and images used to describe your locations should reflect the mood you're trying to elicit in your reader. So, when you're describing a house, you might start by thinking about how big it is, what colour it is, how many windows it has, etc. But if you want to take your writing to the next level, you'll filter all of that through the lens of atmosphere. For example, the house could gleam brightly with a fresh coat of whitewash, or it could have aging, peeling, lead-heavy paint, or it could even give the impression of a gaping skull with sightless windows as eyes and a door forever gagging its silent scream. And of course, how the house appears will change throughout the story. The same location could be bright and happy one day and dark and sinister another, to reflect the character's mood or the rising tension of the plot. Try to ensure every word of description supports whatever mood or atmosphere you are trying to build in that scene. Developing character with locations. How do your characters respond to their surroundings? This can give the reader a lot of information about your character without you having to say it outright. For example, one character stuck overnight in a forest will build a bivouac, take a few slugs of whiskey, and settle down with their heavy boots on a stump. Another character might collapse into a weeping huddle, hysterically swatting at the creepy crawlies. Think about what a character notices in their surroundings and what they ignore. Consider how those things make them feel. Relaxed, anxious, angry, indifferent? Similarly, describing a character's house or bedroom can be an excellent way to get across their personality through their tastes, purchases, and decor choices and photographs. If you have a messy teenager, think about what the mess is made up of. Is it old mystery paperbacks, broken musical instruments, baseball bats and cricket stumps, deliberately ripped clothing and ground down black lipstick? These details can bring your character to life, even when they're not there. Foreshadowing plot points with locations. The key to great foreshadowing is to slip it under your readers' noses, and location descriptions can be an excellent opportunity for this. For example, if in the climax of your novel, your main character knocks out the baddie with a baseball bat, it'll be much more satisfying if you mentioned that baseball bat in passing when you described the character's room earlier, ideally camouflaged as information with another purpose, such as demonstrating the character's sporting abilities or hobbies. Hopefully, if you didn't already, you'll see how powerful skillful use of locations can be, and have some ideas for how to make yours really touch your readers. Don't forget, the Novel Factory contains a dedicated area for keeping track of your locations, including loads of prompts to help you develop settings that are unique and immersive. And if you'd like to see the text version of this article, see the description below. The next step in the novel writing roadmap is Step 11, Subplots.